All right. Happy dance. Scallop fried rice, it's nice. Hi, I'm Amelia and welcome back to Rampe It Up, where we take an ingredient you might have in your kitchen and show you 2 ways to level it up at home. Today, our ingredient is something that I had all the time growing up in my house. And had I known these recipes, maybe I would have had a lot less waste. Today's ingredient is leftover rice. I am Filipino, so when you're Filipino, you tend to have rice in your house literally 24/7. I'm gonna teach you how to make super simple griddled rice cakes. Crisping rice brings out these toasty flavors, gives it a little like nuttiness and a little bit of body. And for the second rice dish we're gonna cook today, I'm gonna take a regular fried rice and I'm gonna elevate it a little bit. We're gonna use some chopped scallops and we're gonna make a chopped scallop fried rice. I love this dish. I make it for parties with my friends. It's usually the first thing to go, and now I get to share it with you all. Making griddled rice cakes is super easy. It's 4 ingredients: rice, salt, a little bit of flour, and a little oil to cook the griddled rice cakes in. What we were first gonna do, this is leftover rice. I cooked it yesterday, and it's 2 cups of leftover rice. And we're gonna season it with, it's about half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some salt over the top, just give it some seasoning. And then we're gonna put 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. I like to spread the rice across the bottom of the bowl. And that way when I sprinkle the rice, there's just a lot of surface to cover. And then I'm gonna take a rice paddle and I'm gonna fold the rice until all of the rice is like coated with the flour mixture. So just give it a little mix. Break up any clumps because you want to make sure that the flour gets in between the grains where the clumps are. So just break them up. This is Japanese style rice. It's a little bit stickier than like basmati rice. That's the rice you want to use because we're going to make rice cakes. So the little bit of stickier rice is better to like form the rice cakes with. And then I'm just going to take this pile of rice and I'm going to like roughly divide it into 4. You can make 4 griddled rice cakes starting with 2 cups of leftover rice. Something that's really important when working with sticky rice is that when you're forming the patties, the rice is gonna stick to your hands. They will not stick to your hands if you have a little bowl of water here, and then you can just like dip your hands in the water and then form the patties. And I'm gonna dip my hand in the water and get it all wet, and I'm gonna pick up one of these piles to form it into a nice tight ball. And then what we're gonna do, once you have a nice tight ball, is you're gonna press it. But you wanna like make sure that your edges are smoother or not, like depends, you know, if you're trying to like have nice formed patties, you can kind of squish in. Oopsie, not time to wet my hand. Your hands will let you know when it's time to redip because rice will start sticking. So here we are again. Wet hands, no longer sticking. There you go. Just place it on your dish right here. And you can continue to press if that's helpful. Here we are. 4 rice patties ready to griddle. Once the pan heats up, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of canola oil to the skillet and let it warm up just a little bit. You'll see it shimmer, and that is time to put in your rice cakes. Your little sizzle. And there you have it. So these need to cook for about 5 minutes, but don't use time as your indicator. Use your eyes as an indicator. When you see the bottom is deep golden brown and toasty, that's when you flip it over. All right, we're gonna flip. Oh yeah, you guys, it's so beautiful. That's it. That's all you need right there, a little bit of toast. This is how you transform regular old leftover rice into, oh yeah, that's the one I want right there. Gorgeous. And once you flip it, 4 to 5 minutes on the other side till it looks just like these. This is scorched toasty rice. It's gonna be so good. Here we are. Japanese style griddled rice cakes. Some are extra toasty, some are light toasty. I've sprinkled furikake on top. Let's eat one. I'm gonna eat this one because extra toasty is my favorite kind of rice cake. And we're just gonna pick it up because, you know. We're done now. I'm going home. That's all I need in the world. Crispy rice, absolute favorite. How fast was that? You should definitely make this. And when you do, please let me know how you like them in the comments. Okay, we have one more thing to make. Scallop fried rice is coming up next. I love scallops. I always feel fancy when I eat them. I usually like sear them in browned butter. I also love to eat them in raw in a crudo plate. But there are a few things you should know before you get into scallops if you've never worked with a scallop before. If you are cooking with them, you need to pull off this little adductor muscle right here. Every scallop will have one that just simply gets peeled off, just like that. Instead of quartering the scallops, I'm gonna cut the scallops into eighths. So I like to cut the scallop around the equator, about halfway through, and you just make a slice like that. Super, super simple. This is a very tender piece of ingredient to work with. After that, you just quarter it. Simple. Now that you know how to break down the scallop for the fried rice, we need to heat up the skillet. I'm gonna add a little oil. Ooh yeah, oil is really hot now, and I'm going to drop them in the skillet. All right, and they're sizzling away, hopefully getting some color. And then once you think there's a good sear underneath, I can see like some color changing, then you can just kind of toss them. Oh yeah. That's exactly what I want. They're just about there, so I'm going to transfer the scallops to the bowl. All right, so there's a little bit of oil left in the pan, and there's a little bit of scallop fond. That's really great. We're gonna add a tiny bit of oil here, because there's a little oil still left in the pan. And then we're gonna add our sliced leeks. This is one leek, the whites and the greens. And we're gonna start cooking the leeks first because they're a little bit more fibrous than the garlic and the scallions. So we just wanna make sure that those kind of start to wilt a little bit. And now that the leeks are nice and wilted, I'm gonna add the scallions, and then I'm also gonna add the garlic. Oh, you guys, it's starting to smell so good in here. And now I'm gonna add the corn. So I have 4 cups of leftover rice over here. I'm gonna kind of push these things over to the side, and I'm about to add my rice. So definitely wanna add some fat to the pan. And then I'm gonna take the leftover rice here, and I'm just gonna drop it in the pan. When I'm cooking fried rice, I like to keep my heat around medium-high heat. And I like to kind of spread the rice across the surface of the pan because you know I love toasty rice. And so I love to get some of the fried rice granules nice and toasty also. And then I'll take some of the 5-spice powder and I will sprinkle that also across the rice. And once the 5-spice hits the pan, like you're just hit with all of these delicious aromas. And I also have 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce here. It's like salty, it'll just bring some seasoning to the dish. Just kind of like fold it, bringing the bottom up. You might get some crispy bits, that's what I like, so. Now it's time for the scallops to come back in. I'm going to lower my heat just because I don't want to overcook these sweet, delicious morsels. And then we'll just toss them in. And time to eat. All right, here we are, 5-spice scallop fried rice. It smells so good. I'm so excited to eat this. The 5 spices there, but it's not overpowering. This is it. This is what you do with leftover rice. You can make some griddle cakes in 20 minutes. You can make fried rice in 20 minutes, and you have dinner, like not just a snack, but like a meal. Please join us again for another episode of Ramp It Up, where I will level up another secret ingredient. Let me know what you want me to make. Hey guys, Amelia here from Ramp It Up. Did you like this video? Then make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for more.